Welcome. I'm gonna chap my lips while we talk because we are in Colorado. Thank you to Lux Digital Church for sponsoring this chapstick, courtesy of the man, Mark. Welcome everybody to Building a Digital Brand. Good to have you. We are here to talk about how to do that. By the end of this talk, you're gonna learn how to take whatever you're doing, whether it be ministry primarily or content primarily, and turn it into a digital brand worthy of monetization, worthy of all the things. All your hopes and dreams will be fulfilled by the end of this talk. That is what I'm selling you, yes. Welcome in, welcome in. My big question is how many of you, and feel free to raise your hand, are making content, if you're content makers, creators, whatever you want to call it. How many of y'all are just making content on Twitch and nothing else? Nothing else. Okay, one of you? Okay, you know. Mostly is a fair answer. I am not Chicken Little. I want to tell you that most people within 3 years of only making content on a platform like Twitch are never heard from again. And I don't mean to say that to scare you or to indeed act like the sky is falling. That is just the way of things. There's burnout there. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to get into. But first, why should you care about what I say? Who is the man behind the poofy hair and the glasses and the big nose? Well, my name's Ryan. The name's Loru. And I've been doing content creation and digital branding and advertising for the better part of 10 years now. If you watch my videos, you hear that too many times. And I've been doing paid, organic, and social media for millions of dollars, for national brands, for worldwide brands, and for mom and pop shops. Everything from presidential candidates to judges to car shops. Ford was great to work with. They just gave us money and we made them money. All that to say, I've taken many at-bats with other people's money, with other people's time, and with my own on both of those fronts. So when I tell you things, most of the things you're going to hear me say, no matter how bombastic they sound, are from a point of data. I try not to come out of a Loru says. I'm not going to do a lot of opinions. I'm going to try to tell you how things are, not how I think they are. So when I say that bombastic comment about Twitch, what I mean is Twitch is a platform with zero discoverability, and it is so bad. Snapchat has more, not a joke. You can be discovered on Snapchat through their feeds, through their stuff. So, you know, the man, this Joby tripod was not working. So we can worry about it later. So I'll worry about it for the next one. Thank you very much. Thank you. Snapchat has more. What was the fun one that has more discoverability than Twitch? I think Snapchat about covers it. So how can you build a digital brand in 2024 if not just on Twitch? Well, the number one platform you can be on, it's not going to be a surprise, is anybody know? Anybody want to guess? Just yell it out. YouTube. Yell it out. YouTube. TikTok is the other S-tier platform. It's YouTube and TikTok, actually. Those are the big ones. Even with Congress potentially banning TikTok in or selling it, whatever the heck they're doing. Who knows anymore, up on Capitol Hill, up in January. TikTok is still one of the S-tier platforms, especially if you do e-commerce or shop physical products. TikTok is literally the best thing to be on. We're going to talk about that. So, YouTube. Why YouTube? YouTube has discoverability in the form of all of their feeds. The only thing that is not discoverable on YouTube right now are their 3-minute shorts that they just launched. The head of YouTube's content behind 3-minute shorts has said that they don't, quote, they don't have an algorithm for 3-minute shorts yet. So if that's something that you're doing, I would not do that. So, we have the shorts feed, we have the main feed, we also have the community posts. If I could put y'all onto the community posts, y'all, that's the number one thing that you should be doing over on YouTube, is take all your images, all your tweets, put them onto the YouTube community posts. You'll see some on the NCMS thing for this event. All the stuff we put on Instagram and Twitter will also go on the community post. It's another feed. It's technically in the you scroll feed, but it counts as another entity on YouTube comparatively to other videos, to the other things there. So do all of it. Start with YouTube. Let's talk about TikTok. TikTok is hard. It's hard because you have to compete with what starts with a B and ends with rot, brain rot, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, there's too much crap on TikTok, and that's your competition, are the shorts that are I don't know what to call it, but we've all seen them where someone's talking and like underneath it there's like a video game playing, you know. Or we've all seen it, right? That's your competition, unfortunately, and you have to be better than those. So don't try to be better. Shorts are harder than long form because they are more condensed. You literally have to have something exciting the first frame, not the third frame, not the fifth frame. The first frame has to capture somebody because the average view length on TikTok is about 2 seconds. So you got to keep going. Now you might say 2 seconds, I'm making 55-second videos, shorts, whatever. How can I make it on TikTok? Come on in, y'all. How can I make it on TikTok if my average watch time on the platform is 2 seconds? That's according to people, swiping. You don't have to like make a 2-second video. If you say, hi, my name is Jate, and that's the video, you might get 20,000 views. Who knows? But nobody's going to remember you. No one's going to remember your face, so views are not the number one thing. So now that we've talked about the best 2 platforms, which are YouTube and TikTok, let's talk about A platforms, A-tier platforms. These are platforms that you can make a living on if you just use those platforms depending on things and are things you should put in your repertoire. Anybody have a guess at the first one? The first A-tier platform. If YouTube and TikTok were S. Instagram. Instagram is not A-tier. We'll talk. It's a good guess. You're close. You're Facebook. Good. Facebook is good. Facebook is there. Facebook is still the biggest social media platform by users in the world. And Facebook groups are not going away. Facebook pages are not going away. I was talking with Sam, I think about this earlier, that many businesses do not make websites anymore because Facebook pages exist. It's free, it's quick, it has a fast load speed, everything the website wants. Many people, their backbone of their business is a Facebook page. When you say check my website, it's facebook.com/ whatever the entity is. I have one myself. So what can you do with Facebook? Well, you can take the content you're already making on YouTube and just put it onto Facebook. The word is syndication, ladies and gentlemen. If the first thing you take from this talk is using the community tab on YouTube, the second word I want you to really get in there into the noggin is syndication. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to make unique content for every single platform. It helps. We all have limited time, lives, significant others, children, food to eat, tripods to locate, etc. Take the same video you made on TikTok, take the same video you made for YouTube and put it onto Facebook, syndicate it onto other platforms. Now, every platform has its subtleties, has its things you must do. I'll give you a couple. For example, YouTube, 3 hashtags in the description. We're getting into the SEO portion. Are call it a minimum. You don't need more, you don't need less. Why 3 on YouTube? Because if you ever look at the YouTube title on your app, whatever, on your desktop, you'll see hashtags above or below the name of the video, but not more than 3. So you want 3 on YouTube. TikTok, you can do 6 hashtags because that will show up as clickable on the title of the TikTok. If I randomly stop, it's because my brain is over there and I'm right here. Okay, so on Facebook, do like 2 or 3. You don't need a lot. There's a lot of debate on which ones to do on Instagram or Facebook, 2 or 3 hashtags. No matter what you do though, the hashtags don't matter if the video isn't good and if the title isn't good. So we talked about the 2 S-tier platforms. We talked about Facebook being an A-tier platform. Y'all said Instagram, so I'll tell that to you. Instagram and Twitter. I'll just talk about Instagram actually, because Twitter they're Wild West right now. Instagram is more of a C or a B tier platform. They're very tertiary unless you're a fitness influencer. Instagram I wouldn't recommend as a main thing. But as always, you can syndicate your shorts there for Reels. You can syndicate your images if you're already making stuff. Feel free to use it. But it's not something you can just make a living on unless you are, again, like a fitness influencer or, something more physically focused, something more visually appealing. I think that's the best way I can put that. So let's talk about I just gave you a literal fire hose of information about the various platforms that you should be using. Let's talk about stuff in a macro level and zoom out a little bit. When you're making a digital brand, the number one thing that your job is to provide value to the user. This requires you to understand what the user thinks is valuable. So if many content creators that I've helped mentor, many businesses that I've helped come into the digital age, they will say, well, we have a YouTube channel, and we go there and it's some old guy, and the camera's where that vase is, and he's sitting over here, and it's a wide angle of the room. You can barely hear him. The audio sucks. You can hear the air conditioner more than you can hear him. And this was one of my clients. He was talking about medical equipment for an hour to an empty room, and it was what's the scene of Bueller? It was very boring. Nobody, it had 3 views, and he was confused. He was making one of those a day for 2 years. And he said, YouTube doesn't work. Well, he had no thumbnail. His title was The Date. Okay, so if someone sees that, they're gonna go, what the heck? And they just keep scrolling because you don't know what the heck it is. So even though he had a lot of information, even though he had a lot of brains, smarter than I am, his organization of the content and how it was displayed was not done in a valuable way, so the people that would have been reached by it weren't. So at a macro level, you have to both understand your customer, understand your consumer, and understand what your knowledge is and how you can provide that value. So I'll give you an anecdotal. I play EVE Online, been playing it since 2007. That's my main YouTube channel, is EVE Online. There's a new expansion dropped today at 4 a.m. So I was up until midnight last night editing a video because I knew the expansion comes out today and timing is part of the thing that we will discuss. Since it's a new expansion, people want to know about the new ships. So if I make a video tomorrow, there is less people searching for the new ships than today because they've already watched the videos. So timing is more important. I understand the consumer, the customer, the capsuleer is what they call them in EVE. But tomorrow they're already going to have tested the ship, they're already going to have checked it out, they're going to have watched somebody else's video, so I have to make a video last night and put it out at 4 a.m. So they did watch it, and watch it they did. I currently have the #1 video. I will toot my own horn when I can. So, you know, it's about timing and understanding the person. I couldn't have done that if I didn't understand what the consumer wanted. There are some of my peers in the EVE Online space that will make a video about that ship, claiming it's the best ship you should have in 3 months, and they will complain that it only got a couple hundred views because the timing is bad, because they didn't understand what the consumer's needs are. They've already figured it out by that point. So we talked about providing value. Let's talk about timing. Timing can be something as simple as understanding holidays. You know, I'm not talking about making a like, hey, thanks for the Veterans Day post. Those are mandatory if you're in a business. But if you're let's say many people in here are content creators in the gaming space, because we're all nerds. Whatever game you're playing, if there's an expansion, you should have a plan leading up to that expansion, not just, hey, I'm going to live stream talking about the patch notes and have there be a 2-hour video. That's not fun. It's not entertaining enough. It's more boring, and I say that because many of the EVE creators do that. I'm trying to help them, but you know, they will see the light as I gain more subscribers than they do in a year, in a month. That's not a joke. So when I say these things, what else can you do if you're a gamer, if you're a nerd person? You can do expansion stuff. You can do, if there's ever a keynote for the devs, you can react to it. Don't sleep on reactions, y'all. You know, reactions are great. You can put your take on things. Reactions are a great way for you to have a piece of content that isn't something that you make. You know, you can use your knowledge and apply it to a already existing quality piece of content and give your take on it. Thus, that audience of that video could now come to you. You know, you make your thumbnails similar to theirs. Don't copy and paste something ever, but you know, make it similar enough that their audience can see you. So, what's another fun one that I was thinking about on the walk up here? And then I saw a turkey, and then my brain went to where the turkey was. You know, so. So let me just. I'll just go to the next point. We were talking about timing. We were talking about value. Y'all probably have a ton of questions, and I've given you a fire hose. So while my brain catches up, anybody have questions they want to talk about? Anybody got feel free to scream them out, raise your hand, do what you want, you know?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay. Yeah. It's a great question. So the final question is, and this is for the mic, is if you don't have a lot of time to research a topic comparatively to the no-lifers, and I say that with love, how can you then make content to compete with them? Is that fair? So the short answer is you have to give your experience of it, but you have to also marry that with understanding of who your consumer is. So a lot of EVE people are parents. You know, they don't want to spend the time. So I make the video as succinct as I can and copy pastable so that if they just want the fit, like they don't want to, because in EVE you can copy and paste the armor pieces if you play MMOs. They're called modules in EVE. You can literally copy and paste it into their browser and then, or in their window, whatever, and then it gives them my fit, my build, whatever, you know. They just have it. So many people show up to the video, press like, copy and paste it and leave. It's fine. They still, please like my videos. Thank you. Okay, camera. So, you know. Point is, like, if you can't give the no-lifers perspective, the end game perspective, give what perspective you have, as long as it's still valuable to the person, to the consumer. Now, the only question, and the fun question is, what's up, y'all, is how do you know what's valuable to the consumer? It's like the question behind the question. And the way to answer that question is by testing. You have to keep putting out pieces of content, keep trying until you find one that hits, like we were talking about your FF video, you know? So, if you are unsure what's valuable to the community or audience that you want to be a thought leader in, just make content. I know that sounds like the forehead emote, just make content, right? Make content that you think is valuable to them and see what works. So if you're trying to be a gear review channel, make content on a lens, a camera, a light, and a mic. Which one got more views? Okay, the mic one. Okay, so I'm gonna go make 5 more mic videos. Okay, of those mic videos, Rode got more. Okay, so I'm gonna make a bunch of stuff about Rode first. That kind of thinking of niching down into how you can get the most views, the most value, the most entertainment, whatever you wanna call it. That's how I would do it, and that's what I've done to decent success. So, you know, basically the short answer is always be testing. I want an Alec Baldwin shirt that says always be testing. You know, I couldn't get one in time for this, but next time. So, does that answer the question? Any follow-up thoughts? Okay, welcome in. There's a school of thought there about testing. And I want to talk about how you should put out your content. Feel free to come on in. You just, yeah, you got it, you got it. How do you put out content, and let's say you've tested, you found what works, you're getting views, you're getting attention, subs, whatever, you're hockey sticking. That's when your analytics is flat, and then all of a sudden you get this, like, it's not a logarithmic where, you know, you're not, you know, Asmongold, whatever, but it's going up now, and it's not really looking like it's slowing down, it's linearly going up. So here, I'll move my stuff too. So what do you do when you are trending and you want to continue? Well, what I would recommend you do is most of your content should be what works, and then some of it should be testing. Always be testing. Don't just test when you have something that works. Always be testing. So an anecdotal for me is I tested with Eve about, for Eve Online, about ship builds and guides, and people really seemed to like that. But when I went to a guide about a certain activity, there was less views. So people, the Eve sphere, whatever, excuse me, that sandwich is coming back to bite me. So they cared more about how to fit the ships than they did how to do the specific activities. So now that I know that, because less people looked at it, there's less views, right? So, you know, less people watched it. It wasn't as valuable to as many people. That makes sense. So I make less of those videos and I make more of the ship fit videos. But that doesn't say you shouldn't make the activity videos. You just should make less of them, if that makes sense. So how I would kind of do that is, let's say I make 5 videos a week, because that's my goal when I get back, actually, because many things are happening when I head back to my house. So I have a couple editors that I'm talking to. So point is, let's say I make 5 videos a week. I would make 4 of them what I know works and 1 of them a test. And then I would keep testing that test, because what happens a lot is once you've made it, when you're in that middle tier of creator, when you're in that middle tier of branding, all of a sudden stuff starts flatlining. The hockey stick is now less of a hockey stick, more of a sad on the ground stick. How to prevent that from happening is to keep slowly but surely innovating and trying out new things as you're blowing up, as you're continuing to, dare I say, go viral. So always be testing is a part of that. So how can you do that? Let's say many people in here and many people listening are going to be having day jobs and then doing content after hours. This is how I started. It's how many people start. It's actually the most common way people get started like this. So, and Dave Ramsey, I know many of y'all know him. He's a faith-based financial guy. He talks about how the most millionaires he's known worked for it. They actually saved up slowly but surely over time. They paid off their house and they turn around and they're like, oh, I'm a millionaire now. It kind of felt like that with me, where what I did was when I wasn't blowing up, when I wasn't trending, whatever you want to call it, is I streamed less. That's my first big point. You stream less, and I learned more. I took image editing classes, I took video editing classes, I took YouTube titling classes. How do I use AI to help me with titles? I said, help. I see you YouTube comments. Don't just copy and paste AI, you know. Use it as a base, but, you know, don't use AI to speed you up, not just to copy and paste. So I learned how to use Affinity Photo, Photoshop, DaVinci Resolve over time. And then all of a sudden everything kind of clicked. And that is how it felt. We're like, it went from, I know how to make a thumbnail, I know how to make a title, I know how to make a video. Those were like separate things in my head. To now, if I think of a topic, I know I know how to sculpt the sculpture, or sculpt the marble, whatever, before I make it, if that makes sense. So How that happened is by years of repetition and practice. And I'll tell you a story, and then we'll ask more questions. This is a story that's been repeated by people like Alex Ramosi and other people. But I actually knew a guy when I lived up in Longmont who he was a blacksmith in his spare time. It's a hell of a sentence, I know, but it was a good year. So he had one of those like garage forges that you could like melt down metal in his garage, and it was pretty sick actually. The neighbors didn't like him, you know, the tinking of metal, right? Just okay, imagine that all day. But it was still cool because he was pretty good at it. He would make forks and spoons and all this other stuff. And his mentor told him when he started, all right, so you want to be a blacksmith, you want to do this. He showed him a leaf, and it was like a little iron leaf, like a little filigree, it was like you could like put it around a curtain, you know, like a curtain end, you know. And his mentor was saying, all right, what you're going to do is you're going to make 100 of these. And you're not going to make anything else until you make 100 of these. And he was like, you know, I kind of want to make a sword or like a knife. And he's like, no, you're going to make 100 leaves. And that's what you're going to do. And you're going to take a picture of every 10, and you're going to see. And the 10th one looked like he had stomped on it and was, you know, it looked like a rock, right? The 20th one was kind of a leaf. The 50th one was pretty good. The 100th one was great. But then the master, the, you know, actual mentor, put his leaf next to it, and it was like night and day. So the point is, how you get good at being a digital creator and having a digital brand is by repetition, practice. And my challenge to all of you, and I'm going to look all of you in the eyes so I can see everything, you know. So make 100 pieces of content, make 100 shorts or 100 YouTube videos. 100 shorts is easier to do because you don't have to make the thumbnail. So if you're going to practice, make 100 shorts. And if you're going to, you know, try to really hit it, then make a YouTube video 100 times because then you can make the thumbnails. And I know, many of you are like, Loru, that's great. Can I be pensive for the camera? That's too much content. I don't have time for that. That's fine. It's okay. What can you do every single week? You know, what can you do every single week? Can you make, you know, I'm going to look up, here's my big thing for you. Whenever you're making anything, any piece of content, do one new thing. I still do that. So whenever I do a YouTube video, I go, you know what, I'm going to figure out how Jate does his visualizers for his song. I'm going to figure that out, and I'm going to see if I can get that on my stream next time I stream. That's in my queue to do. So, you know, good job. And but I will Google, and I will learn, and I will see, and then that is something that's in my toolbox, you know. And when I was making thumbnails, my first ever thumbnail, I'll try to see if I can post it to the NCMC Discord later. It was like dark blue and muddy, and I like ripped my face off of a photo my wife took and like put it onto the character in the game. It looks horrible, but I learned how to crop a face and move it over there. I literally Patrick starred my own face, and it looked terrible. And now but that was the first one. The next one, I learned how to blend the neck of the Photoshop, you know. And then, okay, now I have to learn how to do the light module. All right, now I have to learn how to do some color correction there. And every single time, it got a little bit better. And you can see that if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see that like the thumbnails now, I make all of them, and I'm quite proud of them because I remember when I was. I remember back in my day when I didn't know how to remove backgrounds from a photo, and now I'm sure many of us know how to do that here. So, consistency, repetition, and just keep trying, y'all. You know, just pull a Dark Souls and don't let them knock you down. Keep on getting up. So, you know, any questions? Because I will keep talking. Okay, yeah. Question is, let's say your product is still images. Let's say you're a photographer. How do you market that? How do you do that? Is that okay? What I would do is the first thing you're selling is your images. And I'm trying to think about it. The first thing you're going to need with anything is a portfolio. Do you have one? Okay, good. So that's step one. When you're selling your services, when you're new and nobody knows about you, the thing stopping you from getting sales, let's say, or clout or attention, whatever you want to call it, attention is the big word, capital A, is basically reviews. It's like, can I trust you with my money? Can I trust you with my trust? You know, should I give a crap about what you say? And that comes from first social proof of your profiles. How many followers do you have? More people, I think it's fair to say, all of us will trust the channel that have 10,000 subs more than we'll trust the channel with 500 subs. Is that, you know, right? So You get that through consistency and what we've been talking about. But if you're just trying to sell still images, like how do you go be a wedding photographer? You know, like walk into a restaurant and say, hey, I'd love to take some photos of yours. I'll give you a discount rate, and walk into 20 of them. Yeah, because one of them will bite, right? And Gary Vaynerchuk calls it a hand-to-hand marketing, where you really get scrappy. You really get in there and see like, what can you find? And how do you get that first break? That, you know, because if you land one of those, they'll give you $4 grand, you know, out of just, if it's a good enough restaurant, not a McDonald's, you know. You know, like, I'll take a photo of your French fry. They're not going to do that. But if you walk into like a mom and pop shop, they would love to be like, yeah, we'll give you $1,000 for, you know, like something we can put on our menu or something, you know, give them a rate. And then at the end say, hey, I'll give you back $15 if you give me a 5-star on Google or Facebook. Facebook does reviews. We were talking about that, Facebook pages. Have them do that. Send them an email as a follow-up. You know, any client you've had, do you have clients past? Yeah. Literally today, or when you're done with this convention, because I don't want to give you more work to do right now. Show me them, put them on the TV. No. Take your past clients when you get home and send them all an email, text, whatever, and say, hey, I'll buy you a $5 Starbucks gift card if you can send me a screenshot of a review you gave me. And then, because if you have two reviews, now you have 20. Now the SEO will pick you up. Now people coming to your page will see you as more authoritative. The name of the game when you're starting out is, how do I get people to know that I know what the heck I'm talking about? You know, it is the hardest thing. It really, even to this day, I'm like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, come on. So I would start with that. I would find ways to get scrappy and get more clients. I wouldn't necessarily do paid advertising yet, because you really need like a funnel. It's a whole thing. Like, you don't sign up for a course, you're gonna see those ads, you know, just like do it yourself. You're better off hiring a social media, this is really good for everybody in here. If everybody in here is less than 100,000 YouTube subs, which I think it's fair to say because we're all still growing, I only have 18,000. I hit 18,000 last week, so thank you. 1,000 in a month. It was hockey stick, you know, so hockey sticking. You have a question? Do I see? Okay, sure. I said hockey stick, and now I'm thinking of hockey. That's ADD for you, y'all. It's just, you know. Thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. You're better off hiring a social media manager and putting your money towards content you own than running paid ads. Okay, because you need like a funnel to make paid ads work. Like, unless you're selling. Unless you're in a desert and you're selling Aquafina, you know, you just shouldn't do paid media, because it's tough. It's a tough world out there, and your competition is Aquafina if you're selling water bottles. So, were you? Yeah.
I was just.
Saint Bear is 100% correct. That your uniqueness is the thing, and it's the hardest thing to find. You know, how do you stand out? Okay, like. The brass tacks that is frightening is your competition, if you're an FPS streamer, is Shroud. Okay, no one is caring about the other mid-tier. It's the government experiment known as Shroud. You know, it's the man. If you're a World of Warcraft streamer, your competition is, I don't know who's at the top of WoW anymore, but you know. Is it Susie, our own Susie? God bless him. So, you know, when he decides to do a mount competition or something. Yeah, sure. If you're playing EVE Online, your competition is me, okay? So the point is, if you're gonna do something, some of the EVE community, for example, hates that my videos are fast, edits, there it is, done. They want more like a podcast. I had a guy that was one of our fans says, like, I'm a trucker. When you do those 3-hour talks, that's my route, and I'm just listening. And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. But then he comes to my stream and I'm like screaming at the mic because somebody just won like 6 months of work in like a giveaway, you know. And he's like, he can't watch that while he's driving his truck because he's driving a truck. So, you know, how can you be unique? And then a couple of the other guys that are coming up in the EVE scene, they're doing those kind of things, that it's still engaging, but it's not a like 40-minute dissertation that you're falling asleep three sentences in. So, uniqueness is the thing. So how do you find your uniqueness? Anybody know? Anybody have an idea? Shout it out. Go.
Do you have to niche down?
Niching down is fair. What else?
Always be testing.
Always be testing is the right answer. They're both technically the same, but correct. Is how you find your uniqueness is, you can't say, I'm unique because I used to have a mustache before my wife told me to shave it. So, and no, she didn't actually tell me to shave it. She highly suggests that I should shave it, which are different things. Okay. So I used to be like the guy who had a mustache and you came to stream and I had a face cam and a bunch of other people, Eve people did not have a face cam. That doesn't mean that you should look at me and then say, I'll go turn on a face cam. It means that you should test your production. Should you have a face cam? Like, you know how we all stress about the buttons on our stream and like, is it pixel perfect and is the alert at the right spot? Literally none of that matters. Go look at XQC. It's a face cam and the game and whatever gambling site he's on. You don't need the high production. What makes him unique is that he is, what's the nicest way that I could say this? I was going to say goblin, but sure. So, he's a bad influence. I think that's a good PC way to put it. So, yeah, exactly. We can't understand what the heck he's saying. How he, found his uniqueness was he kept being himself in a way that the people wanted, and when he was getting positive feedback, he kept doing those things. But for us, you do the always be testing method, where if you make 5 pieces of content, if you don't know what your uniqueness is, make all 5 unique, and then see what works. Now, I know many of you just heard that and went, oh my God, this is so much work. Yeah, I know. This is the, is it Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh? Yeah, is that him? It's like, oh, Pooh, it's too much work. You're right. I don't want to kick y'all in the butts, but I feel like it's my duty, and I'm looking at you, camera, okay, to tell all of you, it's going to be a grind. We don't have, we're Christians, assumably. We're ministry people watching this. We don't have a cabal of people sleeping with each other, raiding each other, tweeting at each other, keeping us afloat like many of the top streaming teams do. We are Christians that have lives that we touch grass when we can and go to church on Sunday. Many of us don't stream on Sundays because we have, we listen to what the Lord has said to us, okay? And when we are in a place like this, NCMC, it's one of the reasons why this is so great, because we do get to have fellowship and do all those things. But after this, my call to you was make 100 videos. And my call to you is like, I'm serious, do that. How many years will that take you? Is it 1? Is it half? Is it 2? Just make a goal. You're going to go make 100 videos and go do it. Whether it's 100 shorts or 100 YouTubes, go do it. And at the next year NCMS, tell me your progress. And let me see your first video you made and the most recent video you made. And I'll rip it apart and help you to do better. Okay? So, you have a question? Is that this? Yeah, please. Tools like vidIQ and TubeBuddy both. I have them both. Get them both. vidIQ, TubeBuddy, they literally let you find what people are searching for. And I'll give you, on that subject, I'll give you how I do my keyword research method, because it's very, very similar. I use TubeBuddy, I use vidIQ. They'll have like daily ideas. But those ideas are almost always like very clickbaity. Like sometimes they don't really make sense. Like I mentioned the video I put out at 4 a.m. today, that was for the new EVE expansion. The title vidIQ wanted me to title it is like, why the Cenopath is a ship which is the new ship, is a ship you've never seen before. Well, it came out today, so you've never seen it before, and so that would have been a bad title, So you can use it as like those tools as a starting ideation point. But one of the ones they had was why you're not making ISK is the in-game currency. Why you're not making ISK in EVE Online yet? And I was like, that's a really good title. Because I'm like, I'd click that. And that's the video that you want to make, is a video that you would click on. So start with those tools. The second way you can do it is check, heck's it called? Google Autocomplete. Some people call it alphabet soup. You can go on YouTube and you can type in for EVE Online, I can type best EVE Online ship, the letter A. And then it'll have a bunch of stuff that's titled Best EVE Online Ship About X or and mining, and then you do Best EVE Online Ship B and then see what it says and go all the way down to Z. This will give you 4 to 6 decent ideas times 26. You'll literally have your 100 videos if you do just that. You can do the same thing on Google and on YouTube and then compare and see what's up. Why on YouTube? Because YouTube is the world's #2 search algorithm. Did you guys know that? The #1 is Google, the #2 is YouTube, and they own them both. So they kind of feed each other. The third one is go look at your competitors. You can use vidIQ and TubeBuddy for that as well. See what their best video is, the most viewed. Is it older than a year? Go watch it and go make it better. I'm not saying take their scripts and just like, yoink it. I'm saying, as Ludwig says, yoink and twist. Ludwig did a thing that was basically Jeopardy, right? Like he was just doing Jeopardy, but he named it something else and he made it gamer focused and he added like a couple layers of detail to it. So it wasn't Jeopardy, even though he basically was like, 200, NCMS for 200, Alex. It was basically what happened, but it was a couple degrees away. So, and an example there is one of the best videos that my competitors have is an EVE Online starting playlist, like how to start an EVE, and it's like 20 videos in a full playlist. My script is currently 30 minutes. So I'm gonna do like everything you need in EVE in 30 minutes. That's the title of the video. So I'm gonna take my knowledge, the idea, and make it better, and it'll go very far. I think his video has a couple 100,000 views in like 3 years, but it's 3 years old. Stuff has changed. So tools, Google autocompletes, YouTube alphabet soup, look up your competitors, see what's working, and make it better, make it unique. Those 3, when I tell you, you have your 100 videos. You have them today. Like, you're already thinking of some like, I could write those down, and those are your videos. So, my ADD had a point of thought, but now it's gone. Any other questions? Yeah, please.
I was going to add to the
dialogue. Comment was, you don't want to just find yourself once, you want to find yourself three times. So like, I'm a Christian, okay? I'm a Christian gamer, okay? I'm a Christian gamer that does X, Y, Z. That's a really good point. That goes to the niching down as well. Like, you hear this term a lot, niching down, and it is a bit of a buzzword, but it does have a lot of merit because your uniqueness, that is your uniqueness, is if, what is the niche that is Loru? I'm a fast-talking, loud-mouthed, big-nosed dude that flies spaceships and can do spreadsheets pretty good, okay, pretty good. So it's, people come to me for my uniqueness, whatever it is, whether it's the humor or the positivity and the, flying spaceships and getting a couple kills. I might get killed, but at least if I take you down, then we're good to go. So when you were talking about building a digital brand in 2024, it's hard. At the same time, it's easier than it's ever been. And what I mean is, when I started, back in my day, I had to like pay a friend of mine to remove a background of a photo that I took. You did the cheese with the peace sign. I was like, I don't know, how do I remove the wall off of the... So I had to pay a guy to like do it, and it was, it was like $10 or something, but I didn't know how to do it. Nowadays, you take the image, you throw it into Canva, and it's done. Canva has thumbnail templates. You don't even have to think about it. You just throw it in. But what's the one of my favorite movies, Incredibles? When everybody's super, no one will be, right? Now that it's easier to make everything, now there's more creators. And I will tell you this comment, because I do want to come back to Twitch, why I was so hard on Twitch at the very beginning and why I continue to be hard on Twitch. Twitch quantifiably has lost about 2% of its viewership the past year and a half. That is... I think the number was like 550,000 people a day don't watch Twitch anymore. It's but there's more streamers, and they're streaming more to less people. Okay, so, and this is again not me. This is like, you go on sullynome.com. It's like the Twitch tracker site, and you can literally zoom out to 2 years, and you'll see that number. It might not be exactly what I said, but you'll see Twitch is trending down. And this is a platform that during 2020. During our favorite year ever, when everybody was inside, did not grow. That kind of sucks. You would think that Twitch would be like, screw the hockey stick. It should have been logarithmically in the sky, and it did not, because there's no discoverability, because the Twitch power user is not the common man. I think we'll just put it that way. So how do you then do all the stuff I told you, all the platforms to at least be on, all of the making videos? How do you balance all this? How the heck am I going to make a video and post it to 5 places and be everywhere? Don't do that. Don't post every place. What you start with is you start by making 100 videos. Make those, put them on YouTube or TikTok. Pick one. Don't even worry about 2. Pick one. Make 100 videos. In that 100, you're going to figure out a lot of stuff. You're going to figure out your uniqueness and then go from there. So for example, I mentioned the gear reviews. If you make EVE Online guides are not going to do good on LinkedIn. Is that fair? I think if I post how to make ISK in EVE Online, my ex-bosses are going to be like, what is Ryan doing? Is he okay? He's got a lot of hoodies, and they already knew that. So, but what would be good is, and this is not a spoiler, I am doing this, is how to, how I was, what's the title I was working on? How I was able to take the oldest MMO and use it to sell, I think it was 1,200 units in a month. So I have an affiliate code, and I was able to sell, people use that code 1,200 times in a month. And that gave me about 1,200, it was like 1,100 bucks, because it was like $1 a person or whatever. And I got like 3% back or something. But this was, I remember when I made my first $5 on Twitch, and I hadn't streamed in 2 weeks, and people were still using my affiliate code. So what I'm gonna do is write, like I call it a blog, and put it on LinkedIn about how I was able to sell a bunch of units. And then when I go get sponsors, I'm gonna go send them that blog. See what I'm saying? It kind of starts with, please, yeah. The moment I said those things, Bear was like, you know, please. Yeah. Great, it might be the only question. It is the best question here so far, so sorry to the other question askers. Okay, you know, so, you know. The question is, what I'm describing sounds like 2 full-time jobs, and if you want to do this for the community, if you wanted to do this, let's say from a ministry standpoint, to reach people, I'm describing having 2 full-time jobs, and that's gonna be very difficult, etc. Can I like speak to that? You have to work 2 full-time jobs. Alex Ramosi did not get to where he is because he only worked for 30 hours a week, right? He was working 80, and he lost sleep, and now he had to be healthy, is what you're, chat, okay? I'm always like, I like how everyone was like looking at the camera, you know? That was good. Chat, we can, uppercase C, you know? One of my core pillars of my brand is wellness. So when I say this, like, yes, I was up till midnight last night making 2 videos, but I had a solid 6.5 hours of sleep, you know? Like it was good enough. And I'm at a con. Nobody sleeps well at a con, right? We're all coming back from the Colorado breweries. So the easy answer is embrace the suck and just let the process guide you. And here's the, oh man, I'm so glad you asked this, because here's the big one. You wanna know what we have over everybody in this room has something over the rest of Twitch, the rest of YouTube. Do you know what it is? It's the Holy Spirit, y'all. We got God. So if you're hearing this and you're going, man, there's no way I'm gonna be able to make 1 video a week. I gotta go learn all this stuff. It's gonna take me 3 years. Don't listen to Loru, you go pray. And you go say, what does God want me to do? Because if God says, hey, make TikToks, make TikToks. Don't listen to me. If God says, I want you to, where's Greg? Where'd he go? He left. He heard his question and then he left. He got his answer and he's like, well, I'm off to go email all of my past clients. He took that literally, you know, so I'm out of here. Going to get some reviews, I'm fired up, you know. Listen to what God says, you know. You know, exactly. So, because I'll tell you, I've told a little bit of this story before, that I was at my first PAX East, and how I started all this was I was in an entourage of a 1 million subscriber YouTuber guy. He was like a friend of a friend, and there was like 17 of us, and we were rock stars, and it was great until we went to the Riot Games party, and it was like at the club, bumping music. I have 1 margarita and then a water, okay? I don't want to hear anything in the comments, okay? Jesus turned water to wine. I think he likes tequila. The point is, you be responsible. So when I'm walking past the line that's 3 hours, because the front door guy was like, come on, and we're passing everybody. Everybody's like this. You know, they're all looking at me. And I had this like heartstring tug as I'm like, oh, those people hate us. And it was just one of those like, you know, I don't really care what other people think, but you know, they're looking at me like this. And it was like, I've never heard God speak to me until like, it was like, that's who I want you to witness to. And I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna skip the club and I'm gonna go walk around PAX East for 2 hours. And I did. I looked like a crazy person as I'm talking to the Holy Spirit, talking out like, what does that mean? Like, you want that to be my flock? What the heck is that? Because I was an advertiser. I was doing paid media for a company doing Google ads, and you know, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. And how do I reach the nerds? How do I do all this? To kind of your point, Bear, how do you reach them if they don't know who the heck you are? And I remember passing at PAX East, there was a booth for the Church of Satan. You know, like, anybody else? That was spooky, huh? That was got a little big on, get behind me. You know, so that was for the camera. There was some wind blowing, so you know, the literal Church of Satan was there selling merch. Okay, but there was no, well, not Love Thy Nerd wasn't there yet. Okay, you know, so, and not NCMS either. So I was like, okay. So I went home that week after having a great week, and it was as many cons do. After I was done with the con crud, I started Googling, like, okay, how do the nerds, you want the nerds to, what God told me was like, make them see me. And I was like, okay, so I have to be seen in order to make them see me. So how do I make the nerds see me? Okay, well, I had used Twitch in the past to like check out stuff. I'll try out Twitch, and that's where I started. And I quickly found that it was a trap because of the stuff that I've been talking about. But what I'm saying is I started this path because God told me to, and throughout that path, he's kind of like Job style east-winded me back over here, where I thought I was going full time like two or three times. And God's sitting upstairs. Now I know he was saying, "You can." He's trying. I didn't tell him to do that, and then I crashed and burned, and here we are. So, but I still learn stuff. And what I'm telling y'all is that when you think about, I want to be a digital creator. I want to be someone that owns a brand or a business or a community or all three in 2024 and beyond. The advantage we have, capital A, is the Holy Spirit, is God, is Jesus. That is who you should go to first. Literally, if the Holy Spirit's like, hey, Ryan's an idiot, don't write 100 scripts, just sell wedding photos instead. You have that camera, do that instead. Go do that. Don't worry about making 100 pieces of content if God told you not to. So start with God, start with prayer, because I don't think I have to tell anybody in here, like we can have 1 million subscribers and still be grossly unhappy, like I don't want to name drop, I've already name dropped some people, but some top streamers, but I don't want y'all to have pounds of trash in the corner and millions of dollars, and you know who I'm talking about. And that's just deeply unhappy behavior, y'all. I don't want that for y'all. I want you to be successful, and because here's the fun part. The non-Christians are gonna look at us, and if we're messy, if we're still streaming to my bot, my mom, and my other computer in 5 years, right? Then they're going to look at that and say, oh, that's what, they're going to infer Christianity onto our lack of success and our lack of health and our lack and our, whatever, you can infinitely. So how do you, was it Paul that was like, be blameless? Like, I think maybe it was a proverb or something, It's somewhere in Scripture. We'll have to ask.
It's in John.
So John, where I'm thinking it's like, say it again.
Sinless life.
I think so. Yeah.
Live a sinless life. It's like
Yeah.
John 20 or John 21. I think it's
Above
John
reproach,
20.
is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, live a sinless life. John 20, I think, is for the camera. Live a sinless life, live above reproach. We're not perfect, but if I can do an Eve stream and Eve videos that are just nothing but value and generosity, I got people in the comments there's always going to be negative comments, right? But whenever there's negative comments come in now, people are like defending me now. People I don't know. People who have never met me before. How did that happen? Like, it happened because I was generous, I was positive, and made a space that people can enjoy. And I'm only standing here before you now because I've been in those chairs. I've been doing this for almost 9 years now. And I was a 3-viewer Andy for years. And hopefully through this, y'all will not be for very longer if you are. Okay? So, yeah, fair. We got a couple. Did you have one?
Oh,
go ahead.
Yeah, sure. How much of your...
I syndicate my streams to 6 different places.
Okay.
So when I go live, let me start from your first question.
Sure.
So the question is, how do you syndicate? Yes. And what is your schedule? Is that fair?
How
Like,
do
what's
you
your upload schedule?
diversify, like, deciding, okay, I'm going to spend time on a YouTube video versus streaming. Like, how do you pick what to do?
It's a great question. What is the priority between shorts, video, stream?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Stream last.
Sure.
Okay. No matter what. Even on YouTube, stream last. YouTube videos first, then shorts, then stream. That's the order that I would do it in. So why? YouTube videos are going to get you monetized. They're going to get you subs. They're going to get you engagement. They're really good. You can look at their YouTube analytics are so much better than all the other platforms. You can look at what parts of the video are trending up, and that could be its own YouTube video, depending on how long the video is. Shorts are very top of funnel. Do y'all know when I say, I don't think y'all do, so I'm just going to do it. There's something called a marketing funnel. It's just a triangle, okay? It's not a pyramid scheme, I promise you, okay? What's the Always Sunny, where they like turn it upside down, they're like, oh no, it's a pyramid. That's not that. Marketing funnel is this. Top of funnel, when I say that, it's people that don't, I promise this is an answer to your question, by the way. If I don't, just bring me back, okay? Because this brain of mine, as you know, is, So top of funnel is people that don't know you. This is the widest part of the funnel. It's the top. It's the space where you're unknown to these people. Middle funnel is where they know of you. There's less of those people, but you are, they're not subscribed to you, but you're like in their feed, you know, they'll like your video. They oh, cool, and you know. Bottom of funnel is they bought something. They've given you a sub, they've given you a follow, etc. They're like in the community, all that stuff. And then a power user is someone that's subbed to you on, subbed on Twitch, member on YouTube, and a patron and has your mug. You know, that's a power user. Remind me to talk about 1,000 true fans if I don't end there. How much time do I have? Okay, we have another 40 minutes. A solid one topic then. Great, okay.
15 minutes.
Do I have 15? A solid half a topic. Let me figure out how to answer your think fast then. YouTube Shorts are top of funnel because they are very introductory and just scroll. Not a lot of subs. Statistically, macro speaking, and this is me managing YouTube channels, come from YouTube Shorts. Sure. So I would do those after you do your video, because that's where the subs are coming from, that's where the watch time, that's where the ad revenue is coming from. YouTube Shorts, I get about 100,000 views a month from YouTube Shorts, and I make $5 from that month. But if I get 100,000 views on my YouTube videos, wife and I are going to dinner, you know, because it's just a lot more money. So you know. Stream last. I stream when I'm busy. I stream twice a month, but I make each stream an event, a 5-hour minimum giveaways. You can hunt me in the game. You know, I did a scavenger hunt where I put like a very valuable item in my cargo, and every 30 minutes I was going to blip to a different part of the universe and come get me. You know, and it was hide and seek, and I had literal corporations. I could watch the net spreading over me as I blipped away. It was very satisfying, but and for the viewer as well. I see you have thoughts. Go, yeah.
So if you're trying to,
depends on the platform. The question is, do you have engagement on platforms when you're not streaming, and then some? Even though, so I make one YouTube video a week, and I have one short going out a day, and I stream like right now. I stream twice a month on like a Saturday, but I'm going much more. Literally, when I get back, my plan is to have 5 videos a week, so Monday through Friday, 2 shorts a day, and stream Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I will talk to you about both methodologies. I found that the former is just enough that I'm relevant.
Gotcha.
Because I have a life, and I have a job for now, and I have to. That's the minimum I can do to like have it be worth it. I think that's fair. I want to answer your syndication stream question before Bear gives me the Ryan, stop talking message. I got you, you know. So I look at him. That's the slave driver. Look, that's the face of a slave driver, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just kidding. Yeah. The comment was how ministry can be similar to a marketing funnel in that you can't witness to people unless they know of you. So how do you get them to know of you? The short answer is Shorts will find them in the Shorts feed. That's your top of funnel. Your YouTube videos are your middle funnel. You can get them in with better, deeper topics. And then your Discord, your community hub, your community backbone. We use Discord as like our spine. It's really not that active. There might be 1 or 2 chats a day. But when there's a chat, somebody answers in a positive way. Because if they don't, I ban them. We do vibe bans. So if someone makes them uncomfortable, they're out. Yeah, it's just, I know it's different for ministry, but I make videos about internet spaceships. If somebody makes someone uncomfortable, we're adults, we don't have time. Yeah, so, you know. Go ahead. Yeah, please, yeah.
Do you agree with Devin Nash? Is Twitch going down?
Literally 100% correct. Yeah. Okay, and we don't got time for that, dude. He's hitting me. Let me talk about the syndicating of streams. So, Restream.io, hashtag not sponsored yet. Talk to me, Restream, okay. I use it for Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, X, Kick, those 5. I then use the Atum, A-I-T-U-M, OBS plugin. It's another like $3 a month to stream to YouTube vertical as well. It's another feed. So the YouTube horizontal feed and the YouTube vertical feed are right. It's both videos will have a unique audience every time. So it's a Shorts live stream in the Shorts feed. It is a top of funnel feed that they can subscribe to my channel, and then they're like, oh, he's doing a live stream, oh, and then they show up in a different way. So I do six spots for my live stream. Each one has a unique audience. It's really interesting. You might say, X, that's a waste of time. We get our number 3 commenter is X, is people talking and going like, hey, I like X, it's quiet. I'm like, sure, you're talking, you know. So Kick is the one I don't really care about because it's basically just there in case Twitch goes away, and even then, who knows, because there's a whole other thing. Facebook, because we talked about why Facebook. YouTube is obviously king. You said YouTube is where the community is. My analytics are inverse on my videos on YouTube versus my live streams. Live streams, it's mostly subscribers. All my videos, it's mostly not subscribers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And again, middle funnel, bottom funnel, right? You know, it's literally like, that's the analytics, that's how it shakes down. So, what was your question? Oh, Devin Nash said something about Twitch.
Right?
I love Devin Nash. He's great. I was a patron of his for a while before I bought a house. Now I'm house poor. So Devin Nash is a CMO marketing guy. He was on the Trainwrecks podcast a lot, and he's just got a lot of really great takes about marketing and Twitch. And because I've been in conversations on the other side where I've done ad buys for Twitch and worked with Twitch influencers and done the like brand side of it. But he's like times 100 of what I've done because he's just been in all the things. And people have been saying that Twitch, like myself, have been saying Twitch is going downhill for years. And you know, I am Chicken Little. But the thing about Twitch that makes it the worst platform to only be on is that it doesn't have discoverability. It's a day job. It's not a YouTube video. A YouTube video, you make it, and it's more like an acorn. You make the video, you plant it in the garden, and then it grows. And it continues to flourish over time. It literally has no death. Whereas a stream, when you're done, the chat leaves. And you might as well have just traded that time for money. If you have 3 viewers, it's better, literally, to go work at a 7-Eleven because you'll actually make money doing that as opposed to what I was doing for 2 or 3 years, which is streaming to. When I said my mom, my bot, and my other computer, that was me, y'all, okay? You know, my mom was chatting. I tell you, oh, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, I'm not. It's okay. We'll just keep going. So, y'all remember Mixer?
So I was a Mixer partner,
Yeah.
and as soon as Mixer crashed, I lost all of my interest in streaming and content creation whatsoever. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, your brand must be platform agnostic because I met Stein. He was the Mixer guy, right, at PAX East. The next week, and when I talked to him, I was like, "Hey man, good to meet you." He's like, "Yeah, I'm on Xbox now," and I was like, "That's weird." And a week later, Mixer was gone. Like server plugged, couldn't log in. All those people, and what was the tweet? Hey, you can go to Facebook Gaming.
I know. Oh my goodness. This is an insult.
And by the way, Facebook Gaming ain't here anymore. So you know, point is, one of the biggest mistakes every new creator makes is that they're only in one place. But Lorumerth, you said make 100 videos on YouTube and just to YouTube. Look, YouTube's not going anywhere. They make billions of dollars a year. They're not going anywhere. Okay, Twitch is not. Okay, they've not been profitable for too long. And why I agree with Devin Nash's take that people were betting not small amounts of money that Twitch was going to be gone in 6 months, like not loginable anymore. Because what's different now, comparatively to other years, is the advertisers are leaving. I was just talking with you, I think, or with you, one of you, about this at lunch, that before, with all the OnlyFans headlines and streamer drama and gambling, all of that it didn't matter because the advertisers stayed because the money was there. A lot of them are pulling out. And I can tell you, when I was at companies that were buying Twitch ads, I stopped buying Twitch ads 3 years ago because their analytics, we weren't making any money. It's with Google. If I give Google ads, if I give YouTube $100,000, I'll make $300K I'll make 3 to 1 off of my typical ROAS, return on ad spend of Google ads is 3 to 1. If I'm doing it, it's more. So But if on Twitch, I might not see any return. It's just a top of funnel awareness play. Because have y'all ever been on Twitch and you look at an ad and you're like, it's not for me? Probably all of us, right? All of us have looked at an ad and been like, what the heck? Why are they advertising like I don't even know. There was some like one time it was like a woman's deodorant for gamers, and I was like, I am one of those things, okay, but not the rest of that. So and my wife's not a gamer, so it wasn't for her either. So, but on YouTube, most of the ads are for you somewhat. I've been getting those gotcha games are spending a lot of money on me, but I refuse to give in, y'all. I'm not doing it. I'm not. If you play Genshin Impact, that's fine. I have enough trading card addiction in real life. So. What should you do if there's talk of Twitch going down forever and ever? Look, it's like every other platform. You just have to syndicate your content and be at least in 2 places. You don't have to be in 5. You don't have to be in 4. I've built this up over years where I'm streaming to 6 places, but at least be in 2. right? That's how you stop that. And be on Patreon, you know. Oh my gosh, I could talk about Patreon forever. How much time we have? 1 minute? Patreon. Have a Patreon. Funnel people to it. Why? Because you keep more than the Twitch sub does. Pure and simple, full stop. Twitch sub is half. They take half. Patreon, you keep 95%. I think it's 90% maybe, or something like that. So you keep double. So if you get a Twitch sub, if you get 10 Twitch subs, you make $25. You get 10 patrons, you make $48. So if you get 100, go ahead. Yeah, please.
Coffee?
Coffee's good. Kofi is a K-O-F-I, right?
Yeah.
It's great. That's the one that they keep nothing, right? It's like a tip platform.
They don't, but of course, all the places that go through that, like say PayPal, whatever, you guys still take their cut, but
Right.
Kofi doesn't.
Okay, those are great. But if the question was, what about Ko-Fi? Kofi, I don't know how to pronounce it. K-O-F-I? Sure, yeah. Coffee. It's still a donation platform. Is there a way to like publish content to that platform? You know, is there like a feed?
You can post like announcements and things like that,
Okay.
images, and you can sell things,
Okay,
but I don't think there's, yeah, there are newsletters for things.
Sure.
But,
Christian just had it going on for a while.
okay, sure. Coffee, yeah. So you can do it. There's nothing wrong with it. Do it as much as you can. Why I say Patreon is because I make content exclusively for Patreon, right? So when I say, here's the wrong way to, this is the better answer. Here's the wrong way to sell a thing that you want money from, right? Hey guys, check out my coffee. You know, why? Nobody cares. You know, like I've tested this on mine when I was like, hey, check out my Patreon, guys. And I had a little, you can use like a bit.ly to get a click tracker. That's B-I-T-L-Y. You can see how many people click it, and I would do one per live stream. And I would do one when I was like, hey guys, check out my Patreon, thanks. 2 people, right? I had 4,000 people that day, you know, throughout the whole stream, just on Twitch. And when I was like, hey guys, check out my Patreon, I made an exclusive guide for you. I did a long form walkthrough of the stuff that we just walked through. It was a couple hundred people. So you have to give value always, not just in your videos, but at the coffee as well. So if it's like, hey guys, if you want to support the channel, if you like it, check out coffee, 3 people are going to click. But if it's like, hey guys, like, have some kind of funnel. I'd have to think about how to ideate a like donation specific platform instead of a membership platform, because that's another reason why Patreon's better, in my opinion, is because it's a membership platform. MRR, monthly recurring revenue, is the goal. That's why Twitch subs are so good. It's why YouTube members are so good, patrons are so good, because just to be frank, they'll forget that they're subbed to you, and they'll just have $5 going for a couple months, and they'll come back and they'll say, I had a guy that was hey, I accidentally was a patron for you for 6 months. Can I get a refund? Sure, whatever, you know, it's fine. But if they don't come back, then great. Then they'll come back and you get some money, you know, and they've supported you for less than a cup of coffee a month. So, y'all, let me end here because it's too long and that poor camera is overheating. Building a digital brand in 2024 is complicated. It's easier than ever, but it's harder than ever. The number one thing I recommend all of you do is go make 100 pieces of content. Go learn one new thing every single time. And above all that, pray about what God wants you to do. Because I can tell you to make 100 videos, but if God's like, don't listen to that guy. His nose was too big. He doesn't know what he's talking about, okay? Just pray to God first, and thanks for being here. So. Should I bow? I don't know if I should bow.